everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I'm Megan.
I'm Dwayne.
And we are the Blended Family Marriage Coaches. That's who we are and what we do if you're new here.
Right.
So, last week we talked about marriage statistics. And I tried to communicate with you guys that just because that's the statistic doesn't mean that has to be who you are, right? We can defy the odds literally because by doing intentional things every day in order to make our marriages last and make our marriages be the statistic breaker.
Right.
We're going to dive deep into one of the statistics that we didn't talk about last week and how we can break that, how we can change that so that we can change the face of marriage. So stay tuned. So for the very best advice in your blended family marriage, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It's right there. Ring the bell. So that way you don't miss a single episode. We cover everything for your blended family marriage to be able to enrich your marriage in ways so that way you cannot fall into the statistic. Yes, marriages are hard and blended family marriages are harder, but that doesn't mean that your marriage has to be hard and has to not be worth the work. So we had a fun visit with my middle daughter over the last couple of days. We had a riot with her. And one of the things that I kept telling her was some of the statistics that I learned. Like, did you guys know that only 7% of couples can work effectively together? 93% of couples cannot work full-time effectively together.
Right.
Obviously, if you're doing something not full-time or just a project that's fun together, I think that changes it. But to run a business or a work together effectively, only 7% of couples can do that. That doesn't surprise me. It's hard to be in the same place as somebody 24/7, and I think that's okay as long as you guys know your strengths and weaknesses and can figure that out. We can't work together, so we are going to not separate like our relationship, but not put ourselves in a position where we have to work together, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's okay. But the one statistic that really bothered me, and I know that I told you, but I can't remember if I told our daughter, is that the average married couple only spends 4 minutes a day having conversation. And we are looking at couples that are not necessarily empty nesters like Dwayne and I, because that's fun. We get to just talk to each other all the time. We're looking at the average couple. So couples that are running around, soccer moms and all the dads that have so many other things in the fire, they only communicate with each other face to face 4 minutes a day.
That's really pretty scary because, like today, for example, just in the way our day worked out, we were not in communication with one another. But I believe that we've already spent more than 4 minutes communicating with one another.
Far more than 4 minutes communicating with each other. And it's not fair to compare our marriage to those of you, like I said, that are in the throes of parenting. Maybe you have a new baby at home that, you're not waking up at the same time every morning because you're just trying to squeeze in those little extra minutes of sleep. Or maybe you have to run the kids to 14 different places and you only are one person and the last thing on your mind is to speak with your spouse. Maybe you're in that stage where you fall into bed exhausted at the end of the night and you think, I haven't even talked to this person that's laying here next to me today. I haven't even said a word to him. If that's you, if you're one of those people that 4 minutes is the amount of conversation that you have, even I'm going to say if it's less than half an hour, is the amount of conversation that you have in a day, will you please do something about that? Right. It is so important to communicate with your spouse. I'm not going to try and say that you all have to live up to Dwayne and I's standard where we wake up at the same time every day. We do a really good workout in the morning. We have breakfast together. We eat dinner together every night. We go to bed at the same time every night. We had our seasons where that wasn't a possibility. And we only have one car. So everything that we do together. And we are also in that 7%. We can work together. We can work together very effectively, and we've done it. We've run businesses, we run this ministry, we work together very effectively. So I don't want to stand on my soapbox and preach that you must be like Dwayne and I and have these amazing conversations every day and spend every waking moment together, because I know that that's not realistic.
That's true.
But what is realistic is to take little pockets of intentional time to look eyeball to eyeball with each other and say, are you okay? How was your day? What's God speaking to you right now? What are some prayers that you're having? Have you seen any answered this week? There are so many opportunities, so many conversations that your spouse deserves to be heard in, that she or he is probably missing out having those conversations because you're too busy. And I'm not pointing fingers here. There isn't a more is because of the man working 24/7 or devoted to his ministry or whatever the case may be, or it's because the mom is trying so hard. There isn't a more or less. It's just the fact that the average American couple has 4 minutes of conversation a day. That's crazy. That just breaks my heart. Dwayne is my best friend, and I can't imagine, well, next to Jesus, Dwayne is my best friend, and I can't imagine only spending 4 minutes a day talking to him. I would feel very unfulfilled. And the truth is, I think that that's the way a lot of marriages are feeling right now. And I think that, and I'm speculating here, that there's no evidence here, this is just what breaks my heart. I think that that's how affairs start. Somebody just needs to talk to me. Somebody just needs to listen to me. And it's an inappropriate somebody. And nobody just falls into bed in these romantic, sweep me off my feet, and that's how an affair starts. Usually it starts as an innocent friendship of just somebody that will talk to me or somebody that I can confide in. And then one thing leads to another, and you find yourself in a position that you never intended to be in, and now you're stuck in this affair, and your marriage is worse off than if you would have just talked to your spouse. So what are some creative ideas here? Maybe it's time to start taking drives together. If one person has to be at a soccer practice, why can't you both be there? If one person has to drop off whatever, why can't you both go? If one person has to go grocery shopping, can the other person make a sacrifice and maybe not get them lawn mowed so that they can go grocery shopping with their spouse? There are so many opportunities to spend time together. And I feel like we as a nation, as a people group, have made it a priority to spend time apart. And that is what is one of the biggest things that is destroying our marriages. And again, I am not going to get on my high horse. Dwayne and I are the anomaly. We, like I said, we only have one car. If we go anywhere, we're together. Like, we can't go in separate directions because there's only one way to get there, and we have to go together. So I'm not saying that has to be you, but I think that it's so important to take that time. We have put together a conversation list. I usually use it for date night ideas, things to talk about on your date night. I'll include a link to that in the description box below just to kind of give you an idea of the kind of conversations that you can have with your spouse today. Maybe it's you've been stuck in that 4 minutes a day rut and you don't even know what to say to this person. This will give you some good conversational starters instead of just staring at each other, or worse yet, having the conversation turn into a fight. And at first, this is going to feel very awkward because you're not used to slowing down and connecting with one another. So just make it a commitment. If you maybe start by time tracking. How much time did we spend eyeball to eyeball today? If it's less than a half an hour, something has to change. Work your way up in 5-minute increments to, okay, another 5 minutes today. We're going to talk. We're going to just spend time together. We're going to spend time in each other's presence. Just soaking it in. And I'm not saying that the world has to come to an end because you guys are making a commitment to spend this time together. What I'm saying is get creative. Can you hang out with each other while you're cooking dinner? Can you be in the same room together while you're folding laundry? You know, there's ways to get creative here. Instead of going separate directions, make it a point to come together. And I really think that will be a huge difference maker in your marriage and in being able to communicate more effectively.
Yeah, I think that if you are a couple that struggle with communicating with that, you need to figure out those times, like Megan was saying. You know, maybe it's during the time of folding laundry or going grocery shopping or taking a drive or whatever. Sometimes you have to make that conscious decision. This is what is going to change because we've said it. I have said it many times when we've done our videos that you have to have maintenance time for your marriage. So there are times that you have to work on your marriage so that the check engine light doesn't come on and everything falls apart. so you have to take that. It's a conscious effort. It's a conscious, like we say all the time, marriage is hard. Blended family marriages are harder. So marriage is hard. So you have to work at it. You have to, figure out a time when you can talk. If you're a couple that typically would go to bed at separate times, maybe you need to look at, can we, have a compromise so that we can go to bed at the same time and spend 10, 15 minutes talking at the end of the day, whatever. Those are the things that you really need to be conscious of and talk about and look for the opportunities. Where can we get that 10, 15 minutes a day for us to be able to talk?
Yeah, Dwayne talks about that often, that you want to put the work into your marriage as preventative maintenance before the check engine light comes up. Right. So maybe you guys are just going through the motions right now and you're just admitting it's a busy season, and when things settle down, then you can concentrate on your marriage again. Maybe you guys are just wondering what the heck is wrong. Right. And the check engine light is already on. Whatever season you're in, spending time together will be an amazing way to be able to come out of that. That's a great time of marriage maintenance to avoid the disaster from your check engine light. Mm-hmm. That's all we have for you today. Really quick, easy video. I just want to encourage you guys to, because I saw that statistic and it broke my heart, I wanted to encourage you guys to spend time together. There was a reason why you fell in love. Find that reason again. Spend time together. I think that's all. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.